This is the Being Your Own Success Circle, your own CEO Success Circle. Ooh. This morning we're going to continue our conversation that we began last week. We were talking about producing a YouTube video. What do we need to do? And we talked about what to do before and during. We never did get to the topic of what we'll do afterward. So that's what we're going to do this morning. My name is Lowell Ann, and in my coaching and consulting work, I help solopreneurs stay focused and motivated as we take their business to the next level with some simple structures and some pretty easy technology. So we'll be right back right after this. Greetings wherever you are, and welcome to the Being Your Own CEO Success Circle. This is a weekly session intended as a support to solopreneurs. We get together because we enjoy each other's company, but we also like exchanging ideas and information and lots of experimenting. And we all give and receive support. You can discover what we stand for by looking at our operating principles on my webpage, beingyourown.ceo.com. I want to welcome our viewers and invite them to check in by telling us that you're there and where you are and a little bit about what you do. So now it's time for the members on the panel to introduce themselves. So let's see. Alana, how would you like to begin by introducing yourself?
Okay, sure. Hi, everybody. My name is Alana. Greetings from Ireland. And my company is ALB Digital Marketing Services. I help people in the world of online marketing, and I also help people maintain, upgrade, and manage their websites. So I've kind of had two businesses that are keeping me quite busy these days.
Mm-hmm. And you mentioned earlier that right now was really busy. Does that have anything to do with the fact that summer is over and school has started, or can you pinpoint any reason?
It's been pretty manageable up until, say, the last week or two. I think what's happened mainly is client expectations have changed, and so my workload has changed as a result of that. So where I had anticipated only a certain number of hours with certain clients, that has increased. Uh-huh. So I don't say no. I just keep going until the work's done. So.
Right. Well, on this side of the water, everybody complains about, the first couple of weeks of September as being chaos because kids are back in school, there are school buses, and there's all kinds of things going on that seem to be related to that. So I wondered.
Well, I think the fallout for my side is that the clients that I do have children. So their kids are back at school, which gives them more time to focus on their business, which means they're delegating to me, and so that's how like this month is going to be busy for me. Next month I don't know what's going to happen. I just take it 1 month at a time.
Yeah, welcome to the world of
Yeah.
solopreneurship, eh?
Exactly.
Right on. Well, I was going to ask Fred to be next, but I see he's kind of dropped off in some way. I don't know. So, Vivek, how would you like to introduce yourself?
Namaste. My name is Vivek Anand. Vivek is short form. I try to unify, simplify, to amplify your life. So that's what I would do. Vivek Technology is my brand, and I try to make things simple for you. Yeah, last September is also a month where we as Indians have the Ganesha festival back in India. It's the festival of the elephant-headed god. That is a festival which confuses most Westerners in terms of, okay, these people, they worship this idol, okay, they don't agree with, okay, fine. And then they, at the end of it, they dunk the whole idol in water. How bizarre. Yeah, it is.
Well, I always understood Ganesha as being representing overcoming of obstacles.
Yes, it is. And the way it is celebrated is actually a reminder to every one of us is we create the God. And we pray to the God. The idol is just a representation of the God. And once the worshipping is done, we can dispose it off.
Right. Once you acknowledge your obstacles and try to do something about it, you can cast it away. Yeah.
It's a reminder that even our own body goes through the same thing. Nothing is permanent. That's what it means.
I noticed that funny little thing you added on Google Plus with somebody having the Ganesha statue on the front seat of the car with a seatbelt around it.
Yeah, that's how the idols are taken to the pond or lake or river or whatever. The idol is made of clay, and it is not burnt, so that if you put it in water, it just becomes
disintegrates. Yeah.
It goes back to being clay. So that's the whole idea. Nothing is permanent. Is
right.
The main principle there.
Now that's a part of the whole Ganesha piece that I never knew. That it during the festival that it was thrown into a pond or into a river, I guess.
At the end of it, yes.
Yeah. Wow, interesting. Thank you for that explanation. That's fun. Yeah.
Yeah. Currently, I'm in England, and the temperature is today a bit warm, I should say, cloudy but warm. But, yeah, that's the way things go.
Yeah.
Glad to be here.
Right on. So happy you're here, Vivek.
Thank you.
So let's see, Fred, how about you? You have your red hat on this morning.
Yes, I do. Can you hear me? I just
yes.
haven't had time. All right, great. I'm Fred Jones. I'm in Langford, balmy Langford, where I keep moving around. This time I'm in Langford, where Jay normally hang out, where it's always sunny and gorgeous. In fact, it is sunny, and I'm looking out the window, and there's a nice pond with a spray. Interesting. I've never looked out the window. I
told you guys. I told you.
Yeah. Jay, it's wonderful. Yeah. And I'm the creator of Our Future Leaders, cutting edge online group coaching program where I help young people expand their communication, leadership skills, boost their self-confidence so they can become the leaders that our world needs. This last week, I did an interesting blog post that I found interesting. I don't know if anyone else finds it.
I did. I thought it was fabulous.
Oh, thank you. Because there's Jack Ma from Alibaba saying, you know, the world's changing so much, the children's education, they need help. And I thought, wow. And then I got this hip hop artist who had this wonderful video about what are schools for, and, you know, just sort of tied up. What a great combination, and just encouraged me, saying, wow, what you're trying to do, Fred, is so key.
Yes.
So I was really excited about that particular blog post with those two individuals saying what I've been trying to say. Only they say it much better, and they have a lot more credibility. And, you know, but it's wonderful to hear other people saying the same thing. So it was exciting to me.
And the message from both of them was slightly different, but extremely important, I think. Yeah. So I encourage everyone to go find Fred's posting. It's well worth watch. So right, yeah. So right beside, in the film strip, right beside Fred is Jay. Yes, I know, it's wonderful and balmy out there, and must be about 20 degrees, where it's only 8 degrees down here.
Thanks for backing me up, buddy. Us Langfordites have to stick together. So hi, my name is Jay. My company is Magi Studios, and we help people get started in the world of coach, consulting, and training with internet marketing. Happy to be here, as Fred said, hailing from sunny Langford, and looking forward to talking about YouTube. Maybe I can learn something.
Right on. Happy you made it here this morning. Now let me see, Gina.
There we go. Good morning. The alternative to Langford is, of course, out here in Arbutus Cove, overlooking San Juan Island. It's a little foggy over the mountains, so can't see Mount Baker, but beautiful gardens to stare at anyways. So Gina Donaldson, personal passage planning, and you know, basically in the business of getting people to do things they need to do but don't want to do them yet or ever. A gentle cattle prod to help people manage change in their life.
So, Gina, you'll be very happy to know that I have 3 sections complete in my my activity.
It does take time. It takes, like, even when I did my own, part of it was a discovery of pulling things out of cabinets and saying, okay, so what is this? And oh dear, I think, honey, you might want to put this in our binder. So, you know, it does evolve. And yeah.
So just for everybody else's benefit, Gina gifted me with a binder with all the sections already created, and she gave me an electronic version of all of the different checklists. So I've been working my way through these various checklists. So Vivek and I were talking about that earlier. It really does make sense not to leave a mess behind us when we're gone. So,
well, given that they say the average, you know, we're not Americans here, but 300,000 items in your home, really?
Right. Yeah. So thank you for that, and I just felt like I needed to let you know I'm making progress.
That's good. Well, I'm hoping to get you that beta link. I was playing with it over the weekend, so.
Right Right on. So now let me see. Have we covered everybody? I guess we have. So a couple of our regulars have said that life is happening and they wouldn't be able to be here. So basically, what happened last week, we were talking about producing a video and all the things that we needed to pay attention to in preparation for. And then we moved on to what to pay attention to during the recording or during the video. And then we ran way over time. But then we realized that we didn't really talk about what needs to happen afterward. So once the recording is over, what do we do with it? So I thought it would be a good idea for us to look at that. So I can basically tell you that I'm not sure we really covered the promotion, and I guess it really depends on what the video is about when it is that you do the promotion. So for something like this recording that's happening, I like to do quite a bit of my promotion beforehand, whereas I suppose if you were doing an interview or something, you might look at doing the promotion afterward, or both before and afterward. But certainly there is a promotional aspect. So Vivek was asking me, so what do you do after your Tuesday morning recording? And so I thought I might just say what I do. I take notes during the conversation, brief notes, and I write those up. And then I go to YouTube and I post those notes in the descriptor. And I also do some editing. I edit out the beginning pre-show material so that the video just begins with the introduction of the regular introduction. So I try to do that right after. So and following that, what I do is I go to my website and I post an internal link to a page called Previous Success Circles. So I've got all of those pieces that I do at the end. But I wondered what anybody else would be doing. If you were recording something, what would you be doing?
I was, when you were describing, I was thinking of an analogy of cooking a pudding. Okay, you have made a great pudding. What do you do after that? Yes, of course, you eat it. But you just don't eat it just out of the whole big thing. You have to make it into portions and present it, put it in a smaller dish or whatever. Then you have to present it in appropriate sizes, and probably it's not going to be the only thing that you would be eating. You need a meal after which you eat the pudding. So context, all that you need to bring in. So that's what I would do when I create a video. Need to bring in some context for the video, why this video exists, what does it talk about, and so on. So yeah, I mean, in the green room we were talking, I was thinking in terms of creating a video myself, which would and which I'm going to use as an example of starting from the beginning and doing all stages, explaining how the whole thing I do. So I'm going to do that in the next couple of days, and present it as okay, here's how I do these things. So,
Sort of
rather than explaining, show it and.
So video taping step by step.
You should, the video that you do should be how to make pudding.
Yeah, right.
How to present a pudding.
Yes. And what sort of a dessert dish will you put it in?
May I have the conch?
Please do.
Okay. So I think regardless whether you've done a live presentation or a actual recorded presentation with the intent of not being it not being live, right? The intent of uploading it to YouTube is so that obviously your viewers can see it, and also you can have new people find it, right? Because you want to, you want to build an audience, right? So Facebook, it's important to think of Facebook as a blogging tool, right? A common thing now is called vlogging, the V. So taking the B out and turning it into a V. So YouTube really is another type of blogging tool. So having that mindset, I personally think it's important to have some SEO elements to your video when it comes to, hoping to have people find it, right? And that it primarily that's through keyword research. So that being said, what I'll do is I'll just quickly break down what you should do, or at least what I do when it comes to uploading a video. So the first thing I do is I ensure that my keyword, and I've already, so this is we're fast forwarding to the video's already done. I've already produced it. I've added different things to it. So I'm now at that upload stage. So the first thing I want to do is I want to ensure that I have a nice thumbnail. So a nice thumbnail image so that it's visually appealing and people can get the idea of what it is that they're about to watch. What I like to do is I like to have the title in big, bold letters so that people can see what they are about to click on, right? One of the major ways people get traffic to their YouTube channel and their YouTube videos is something called related videos. So either on the sidebar, so when you're watching YouTube, you see related videos on the side, and then at the end of the video that you watch, you see a cluster of other videos. So if you have your title in big bold letters, chances are that creates a little bit of you can call it clickbait if you want, right? Where people can see, oh, how to do this, perfect, boom, they click on it. So that's done. Next thing I want to do is I want to make sure as I'm uploading the video, and this isn't super important, but it's ideal. Name your video your keyword. So when you name it, it's not a huge deal, but some people say that it could be an effective ranking metric, right? Personally, I don't think it's on the top of the list, but I mean, if you want to go that far, that's fine. So have your title, have your keyword in your title. So if your keyword is, business coach, Victoria, BC, or how to hire a business coach, Victoria, BC, you want to have that in your title. Okay. Also so you have your title, and then you have your video description. So that's in essence an abstract, right? It's an abstract of what the video is about. Try to have your keyword in there and try to have it at the very top, because sometimes your video gets indexed in the search engine. I'm just going to close my window here while I talk. So your video sometimes gets indexed in the Google search results. As a result of that, your description would end up showing up inside the Google inside the search results. So,
So, Jay, a lot of the things that you just described, I do as a preparation rather than a follow-up.
meaning as you have it in the pre-made
Like,
descriptions.
yeah, I put up my thumbnail. I have a thumbnail that I create for each one, but I do a lot of those things beforehand rather than afterward.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's awesome.
When you're cooking your pudding, you already know in which dishes you're going to put them in.
Yes.
You're not
Yeah.
going to run off to the shop to get some dishes after you have already cooked your pudding. No, you already have them
Yes.
ready.
Well, Vivek, I'd like to introduce you to my wife.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I digress. So yeah. So okay. So description. How many words should you have in your description? Minimum 100 words. So minimum 100 words is an ideal thing, and that you don't have to stop at 100 words. Okay. You can continue on. The tags. There's something called tags inside YouTube. One of the very first things you want to have is your targeted keyword as your tag. Okay, that's actually quite important. The other things is like if you want people to comment on it, on your video, or like it, or favorite it, or put it, you know, that all that kind of stuff, then you have to either mention it in the video, so that would be during, or you can have a pre-made film reel that says, hey, if you like this video, do this, you know, where you want to pop that inside. But that being said, so once you have your video uploaded, you've got your title, you've got your description, also put a link to your blog post or your website somewhere within the description. That's pretty ideal. And then also share the video. So I think it's really important to share the video inside of any kind of social media channel. I think Google Plus is the ideal platform to do that, even if you don't have a lot of Google Plus followers. I personally feel that the things that you do inside Google Plus positively affect your rankings when it comes to using that tool, whether it's like a normal blog post or sharing the video. Now, if you want to add a little bit, one last thing, if you want to add one more little bit of marketing effort, is to write a blog post about the video and have that video embedded in that blog post and then share that as well.
Yes, and I'm wondering, Jay, if you've stumbled on this. This is something that just I stumbled on very recently. There's a belief now, or a suggestion now, that you put like a hashtag inside your description. So that's different from the tags that you create at the bottom. And I've forgotten who. Oh, I think it might have been Bill who was suggesting there's a place that you can now go and register a hashtag as your own. So that was kind of interesting. So it's there's some belief that if you have a hashtag and you use those same hashtags in every video that the description of every video that you do, that's going to give you more presence. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think there's any harm in that. I don't think hashtags are clickable in YouTube descriptions, though. So I think if you're going to do it in a social post, absolutely.
Yeah.
But I think actually within the description, the hashtag.
That's what was suggested. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I could see it for tracking purposes. I don't see it yet where people are actually clicking on the hashtags and looking for other things. You know, hashtags have become a pretty big deal inside of, you know, like Instagram and Facebook and whatnot. So, but I think we're at an early stage still with the hashtags inside video, personally.
I think the hashtag should be a tag for your YouTube video. Not you were talking about within the description, but what I'm saying is your whatever hashtag you want to have there, the same thing you should have it as
In the
tag.
tags, yes, yeah.
Whether you have it in the description or not is secondary. It doesn't harm. There's no harm in having them, but
Yeah, I'm trying to remember where I stumbled on that. I think it was something that Michael Daniels did. He discovered it, and for some reason it was showing up the hashtag when he demonstrated. It was showing the hashtag right in the video itself, right, almost like an extra. What do you call that?
Like a fingerprint.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I just stumbled on a Google support thread, and it's suggesting, or it's saying you can put a hashtag in your video title, which actually makes it clickable, the hashtag. So that's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
And yeah, so hashtags are clickable in the video description.
Jay, I have a question. So if a hashtag is clickable and you click on it, what does it do?
It's like a search. So it's going to show you all sorts of videos that have that same hashtag. And that's across the board. That's like within social media as well. So it makes it clickable so that it's essentially it's a condensed version of a search.
It's not necessarily only your videos. It could be anybody else's.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure because I use them, but I never click on them myself. So. What am I doing?
Yeah, totally. Yeah, you're being charged for every hashtag you use. I'll put the reference that I'm talking about inside the live chat when I can find that. So
Right on. Perfect.
You mean the website, Logolamp's webpage?
Yes.
You'll find the link inside the calendar.
The email that.
So I still go back to the fact, though, that all the things that we're talking about is dependent on what it is. What's the purpose of that video? It really. So I mean, all those pieces that Jay mentioned, I do all those things beforehand because I really I know that what we're doing is being uploaded as we're doing this to YouTube. So I want all those preparation pieces to be in place. So, but if you're on in a Zoom or some other platform and you're creating a video and you're doing your own video editing, etc., and then uploading it to YouTube, then your process is going to be slightly different.
Yeah, it's the famous TV trick. These TV chaps. They give you a cooking class in the TV show, and then suddenly bring up, oh, here's one I cooked earlier.
Right. Oh dear. So, have we beaten the topic to death this morning, or are there other questions or comments?
I just think that it's important just to have a regular routine when it comes to uploading your videos, So, and if your intent with your YouTube videos is to build your subscriber base on YouTube, then focus on that as your conversion point. You know, if you're wanting people, you know, I find that there's a lot of great YouTube videos out there, but they just kind of leave you hanging. Hey, thanks for watching, you know, and that's it. It's like, well, what do you want me to do now? So you have to let people know what you want them to do. Do you want them to buy something from you? Go to your website, you know, have some sort of, you know, conversion, some sort of CTR or CTA, I should say, call to action, you know, whether it be visit my website, subscribe, like, comment, you know, anything like that. So that way your efforts are, you know, you'll enjoy the fruits of your labor, you know, by telling people what to do. You know, the unfortunate reality of today's society on the internet is we tend to be very kind of blank and just not really have a lot of focus, right? So if you say, go here now, you know, click the description in this video, and I'll take you there, we can continue this conversation or whatever, right? So that's, I think, really important.
I think you can also create, if you are creating pre-recorded videos, then you can have the beginning A roll, your your message, and then the end roll. You can create these beginning roll and the end roll and keep them separate, and you could just add them as the beginning and end of your video to make it complete. And your end video can talk about use your all this business. You can just like do that, like this, subscribe, all that action things you can have in the end.
The end roll.
And you could, if you are in the if you're kind of person who would be wearing same kind of shirt, top, dress, whatever, same similar background, you could record it so that people won't even know that these were actually 3 different parts which you had put together. It could look very seamless.
So that's what my pre-show and my post-show, that's why I'm using OBS, because it's all pre-programmed into OBS.
Yeah, you are using OBS mainly because you have a pre-show recording video starts. Then you have the end recording also. And but you are using the OBS. Main reason is you want to create it live.
Yes.
It's not a pre-recorded situation. It's a the major part of the whole thing is live.
It is, yeah. And let me tell you, I have learned how to use OBS, but it took a while. So
it does need quite a powerful computer and fast and so on. So yeah, and OBS is a complicated software. It's quite powerful, but
yeah,
not really necessary for every video that you
no
start with. It's a case where, okay, you don't need to get into OBS and all that when you're starting something, when you're creating, when you're just starting your YouTube channel and want to start create videos, you don't need OBS at that point.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
I'm curious to know if anybody here has used YouTube Live. Has anybody here used that? No.
No.
Yeah, I've used it.
So-
YouTube Live, as far as I could see, it's very similar to Facebook Live, isn't it? It kind of lets you start recording from one of your devices, and it's only you talking head and no one else. Unlike the video that we are here, where multiple people are interacting
Exactly.
live.
I think what Lalan was referring to was the YouTube Live feature, where you're not just recording yourself and no one else can see it, but you're on a live cam where you can invite people to watch you live. But
Yeah,
it is also
not,
recording.
But not participate in the video itself. That's what I mean.
Oh, I see. Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So
But I've done that.
Have you? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's more, that would be more like giving a presentation of some sort. And the other piece in YouTube is the scheduled event, which you are able to do something similar to this with several people in the scheduled, but that becomes a hangout on air, the old-fashioned hangout on air. So it's a little bit different. So
I actually found the YouTube Live very easy to use.
did you?
Yeah, occasionally what I would do is just have these kind of random pop-up YouTube Live videos where I'm like, whether I'm building a website or doing something related to search engine marketing or internet marketing, because I find that a lot of people like to see the process, right? So I'll just randomly do it and then just let people know inside Wealthy Affiliate and give them the link to the live video. At which point, in my specific case, I say, oh, just ask me if you have a question on what I'm doing. Go ahead and ask me inside the WA live chat,
Right.
Versus the YouTube live chat, right? And so what I've used a small piece of software that allows me to go back and forth between my camera and sharing my screen. Because the last time I did it, I was building a small niche website, and so I was just letting people watch, right? And I find that people quite enjoyed that, right? Just being able to see exactly the process that I do. But technically, using the YouTube Live was actually very easy to use. It's like, here, schedule live. All right, 3, 2, 1, you're
done. You're there.
Live. You're good. You're good. All right, do something. So,
But it when you do that, it does record.
correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
It's an app on the phone, isn't it? It's an app.
There is an app. I use the desktop. I used.
Okay.
I don't remember the name of it. It's just a small little app. But I'll get the name of it in a minute.
Right on. So the other thing that comes up for me is, if we're promoting afterward, one of the things that I've discovered is that there's not a whole lot of point in promoting a YouTube video over in Facebook. I don't think they'll go there. I've tried it numerous times and I don't see any participation whatsoever. So
I think it's a case of it's kind of Facebook and YouTube have become kind of
competitors.
Two opposing parties, and people are becoming tribal in nature. In terms of, no, I don't want to go to the opposite party. No, which is a bit sad. But yeah.
So I think if you want to do anything in the YouTube or in the Facebook world, you gotta go over there and do the Facebook Live thing. But I don't know whether you can have a sort of a green room conversation in any of the Facebook things. I don't think you can. So, yeah. Well, any questions from anyone or comments?
Just a comment. And I think that there's lots of stuff out there that people say, here's my 10 top tips and everything. And so Lowell, and checklist number 9 is, I think what you've got is a repeatable process. And I think that's the key. And I think that much like we want to check our content, I come from the world of methodologies and templates. So that's what I think what I'm going to create for myself is my method where I'm saying, okay, does your content have this? Have you done this? And so that I'm actually being consistent in the delivery. And then as I pick up a few tips, which I did get today, so I'm really grateful for those. Thank you, both Jay and Vivek. That I can update it, and then I can release things in a systematic way, and that would also tell me, based on any results, whether or not I was being effective, and as opposed to inconsistent, is how well have I nailed this aspect, and if I read somewhere else, as I often do, somebody else's brilliant tip, then I can add it. But I'm not, reading it, writing down their 10 tips, and then, it's back on page 30 of my, what I'm going to do next book. So I just think, I just think that there's something to be said for having a method and then just maintaining it and deciding, for yourself. It's like a pilot's checklist.
How do you contrast that with being a bit spontaneous or unpredictable?
Well, my dear, I assure you, I'm highly unpredictable. I mean, if anything, you want to keep me in a structure. I always said the structure provides freedom.
Yeah.
And so there's structure, there's freedom within structure. So my checklist, I don't have to follow it, right? But if it saves me from forgetting something or going, oh damn, undo, re-edit, to me it's a time-saving thought device, and it takes thought to put that together, and I think there's a discipline to that. But believe me, you do not want me any more spontaneous than I am. Ask my husband.
Well, and I agree wholeheartedly with the consistency thing. If you're doing a week, doing something, you want, decide how often you're going to do it and be consistent about it. Yeah, for sure. And I sure have a 3-page checklist. Let me tell you. So Alana, you are waving.
I thought one thing that would be important is branding. I know myself when I do subscriptions to YouTube videos that I'm always looking for the brand. I'm always looking for that little circle that I recognize of someone. So when I get these YouTube videos that pop up on my phone, I look to see if I'm either subscribed to them or I recognize the branding. And if I recognize the branding, I'll go have a look. So I think branding is very important. And to make sure you use it everywhere, not just on YouTube videos. And I'm finding that out myself right now.
Right. And so that thumbnail would be part of your branding, wouldn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, you should have your logo everywhere.
But make sure it does represent you.
Yeah.
What you are trying to do. And because the more you brand yourself, you might at a later stage find that if you are not aligned with what your aims are in terms of your branding, if the branding is slightly off what you want to do, then it will be very difficult to change the branding later on.
So we have covered what all of the ins and outs of creating a YouTube video. We haven't covered what to cover in a Facebook video, and we haven't covered something Jay, that I noticed that you did recently was a few little short videos in Instagram. So there are just a variety of places and a variety of ways to create a presence.
Yeah, I did that Instagram video as a test. I wanted to see what kind of engagement I would get. So I recently did something called an Instagram story. And an Instagram story, they disappear within 24 hours unless you basically bookmark them. So what I did was I showed a screenshot of a search result, and then people would swipe, and then it would show the website that I was ranking paid, position number 1 for. And it was a little bit of a shock factor because there was nothing on the website. It was just a domain name and a blank website. And I was ranking on position 1 for that particular keyword. So the next series of videos, I did about, I don't know, like 4 or 5 different videos. Each video only allows you to record, it's like 10, 15 seconds or something, really short, right?
Really short, yeah.
Yeah, so I was just saying, like, here, look, just to show you that, I was proving to people that having your keyword in your domain name is still a ranking factor, right? So because I was able to do this as an experiment. Anyways, so the video goes on and it ends with, hey, listen, if you have any questions, let me know. And because Instagram has a little sticker thing where you can paste it on the video that allows people to ask questions to you. So I use that. And so I just did this as a random test to see if anyone would engage. And I actually got quite a bit of engagement as a result of that. And I don't have, I have less than 1,000 people following me on Instagram. So it's not a very big following at all. So, it was neat. It was neat to see that there is actually engagement there, right? With Instagram, there's no harm in doing that at all.
It's cool.
Can I bring up some updates from your website?
Thank you.
Arthur Moorhead is commenting on your website. He says you can use OBS. Let me read his comment. You can use the green room with OBS and streaming to Facebook Live.
Oh.
And he's asking in a separate comment. So now we should include hashtag in the descriptions. I think that's a question. Okay, Jeevita Rane is saying Namaste Lovelan and all of you from India.
So I've had to refresh 3 times in order to get those on my page for some reason today. Wow. So
Javita is a WA member.
Yes, I know.
But she goes by a different name on WA, I think, because I tried searching for Jeevita and
yeah. So welcome, Javita and Arthur. I'm happy you're there. So for some reason or other, my system didn't upgrade or update in the way that it normally does. So right on. Well, we are finished, I think, with this discussion. So I'm going to just remind everyone that...
Can I say something before you wind up?
Oh, yes, please do.
I just think that if somebody's listening and they're saying, I spoke with many, many wheels putting up videos. One thing is, where do you start if you want to start? Do you start on YouTube? Do you start on Instagram? Do you start on Facebook? There's so many options. There's Vimeo. And then how long should these videos be? That's another, because there's all sorts of discussion about how long. Short ones are better. No, long ones are better. It's really got to do with engaging people. And then all of the tools of editing and producing. I mean, we skimmed on the surface, but how do you produce it? How do you put the front ends on? What do you use? What tools? This is a very complicated,
Yes, it is.
very complicated. A lot of people have got experience. I mean, Jay's very experienced and he's been doing this for years. Other people, what about somebody who wants to start up? What would we recommend? Where would they start? Probably YouTube. And what would they start? Something simple, like last time Alana said, oh, just put your iPhone up or your smartphone and video and just make it simple. Because you got to start, you have to have a message. There's so many spokes in this wheel. I think anyone listening to this would just say, once again, similar to what I said last week, I don't even want to touch video. How can we help people who want to get started? That would be my question. Just saying, this would be, if you haven't done it before, where would you start? What would you do? And then all this other stuff, all those other doors open. So that would be my last comment. Any comments about where do you start if you've never done it before?
The world is a dangerous place. That does not mean one need not get off the bed in the morning. So it is a dangerous place, yes, but we have to.
Where do you go? Where do you go? It's dangerous. Where do you go?
Yeah,
So
you have to start. And never be afraid to fail. That's the key. Never be afraid to fail. And I have seen people say, fail quickly.
Right.
So that you learn and then use the lessons and then be successful next time.
So to directly answer what Fred was saying,
Yes.
step one, have an idea. Step two, go to YouTube. Step three, press record. And it all starts like that. And then, you know, and then gain experience from that. You know, it's like riding a bicycle. Step one, get the bicycle. Step two, get on the bicycle. Step three, try it.
However, there are all those other little pieces that, you know, you got to have a camera, you got to have a mic, and all of those things. And
those are improvements. I mean, if you have a good enough mobile phone these days, you have a
start there.
Webcam on your phone right there.
Yeah.
Can I just speak to that for a second? Because when I first started doing video, I just bought Screencast-O-Matic, I think it was, and I didn't have a microphone. I just used the one off my laptop, and I did exactly what Jay said. I just pressed record, and I saw the webcam light go on, and I just started talking. So, and the speaker on my laptop was fine. I mean, I could still hear everything I was saying. I listened back and stuff, and I thought it was good enough to put up on YouTube. So it can be done with just a laptop and a little piece of recording software.
But you don't need recording software if you just open YouTube and click.
You can do that.
Yeah.
Do it that way too.
Yeah.
In other words, Fred, you never know till you try.
Oh dear. Well, and it's true. I mean, we may have complicated things for sure, but I think it's worth reminding everyone that when you start, you just do it. And there is a place on the YouTube page to make it private, so that until you're ready to make it public, you can play with it, practice until you get it right. So that's I think that a lot of us all started with Hangouts on Air, which is still available on the YouTube side. So yeah. Granted, we had Ronnie Binzer to show us how to do it all way back then. I see Vivek nodding his head. I don't know if anybody else would remember Ronnie Binzer. He's not around anymore. Anyway,
Well, I'm amazed at some of the quality of the videos that are being produced just on Facebook. I know a young fella in Kelowna, he's at university, and he produces these absolutely amazing videos. They are very well edited. I mean, these are not just videos that he's put up his phone. It is quite astounding on the quality that he's producing, and very well crafted. And he's a university student in Kelowna from Pakistan. Wonderful. But again, you can get the quality you want is available if you're willing to learn. But you can start simply.
Absolutely. And I think I've heard lots of people say that there's a nervousness to get over. It's a little bit similar to public speaking and all those other things. So you just have to do it until it doesn't feel rattly anymore. So. Okay, I think we are at the top of the hour. We're just a little bit beyond the top of the hour. So I think I'm going to remind us all that it's important to do what you love with passion. And we shall see you next week.